the great people in the society, like the Warkenys and the Wilsons and so forth, got together walking the beach one day and decided, literally walking the beach one day, and decided that they ought to form some sort of a society that would be concerned only with birth defects.
In '66 we had the meeting at Buck Hill Falls in Pennsylvania, and was historically in the 20s a place where the wealthy had a playground. The registration fee was $5 for that meeting, and the daily charge was $30, including 2 gourmet meals. I mean gourmet meals.
I got a March of Dimes grant when I was beginning my research work in 1953. At that time, what I was doing was something that was impossible. You could not adrenalectomize a guinea pig. It couldn't be done.
I was very fortunate, very, very fortunate to be one of his students. Graduate students meant a lot to him. You could sense it, and he didn't have many. So knowing that maybe one of his dozen, now it really sinks in when I sit back and reflect upon my career, because my career started 40 years ago. And he still has this tremendous influence.
Dr. Wilson had the most beautiful speaking voice. He had a baritone, and almost when he spoke, it sounded like he was singing. He had great integrity. I loved him. He was a great man. I used to babysit for his kids when he was at Rochester. And then he became chairman of anatomy in Gainesville, Florida, the new University of Florida. And then he went back to Cincinnati. He didn't like the Deep South. He thought he could change the Deep South, but the Deep South didn't change him, so he left. Dr. Warkeny had a tremendous sense of humor. He was trained originally in pediatrics in Vienna, Austria, and he then came to the Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and he stayed there for his entire academic career. So we had good leaders at the beginning, and the same thing with Clark Frazier. He was a geneticist and also a good scientist. But he was younger than the other two, and so we thought of him as sort of the junior partner.
She was very hardworking, very demanding, always had set very high standards.
She was a very clever woman, a very mature woman, a very objective person. You could rely on her opinion as being objective, not affected by the fact that she was paid or not paid for her consultation. She was a very good scientist, and we're sorry to have lost her.
I know when I talk to my students that singularly they'll say that the Teratology Society is where they want to go because they have felt welcome there, and also the support really means a lot to them.
So it's not just a one-way thing, at least in my situation, that I've been able to help train them and help them, and in turn it's helped me as well.
They've been a great thrill to me, how well so many of them have done it, and I learned a heck of a lot from them.
Still having fun after all these years?
I am, indeed.
And Wilson is one of these people who really enjoyed students and liked to watch their careers grow. And I mean, he would sometimes refer to me and pat me on the shoulder and call me his grandson in science.
Bill Elmer was my advisor, and he was a terrific mentor for me. I mentioned also that I was a high school teacher, and so some of the people in the biology department where I was really thought that they were not there to educate teachers. But Bill was very supportive. That was not his attitude. His attitude was that he wanted students and who were interested in developmental biology and teratology, and so he was a terrific mentor. So he fought some battles for me.
Because she doesn't look at it as a job. She looks more as, okay, if I'm taking a student in, then she or he will become a part of my family.
The idea of this being a caring society with a long history and with a good mix of individuals from various backgrounds makes it a wonderful learning experience. And I think so many students have taken advantage of that and been able to build on that strong foundation. There's just a lot of good fun here. I mean, if you figure all the different activities that have always been part of these meetings, whether it be, you know, the golf games, the basketball teams, and of course the famous volleyball teams.
All right. Nice. That's it. What a rally. All right. Hey. I got it. Oh, good try, Tom. Going to be up there.
One of the wonderful things about Teratology Society, it is that it's very much like a family. This meeting is also a family meeting where it's when many people actually have to their family vacation. It's just terrific. And so to me, coming to Teratology is like coming home.
The breadth and the focus is just amazing, and yet it's an intimate society. It's one where it's not so many members, and yet it's one that, so you feel like you know after a while almost everyone in the society. So that's a pretty amazing thing these days.
The thing I like best about the society is what hasn't changed. What this society's always been really good about bringing young people in and trying to educate them and get them excited about the science.
Network. Yes, I've met a lot of great people again, and a lot of contacts. Like I said, a few job offers. So this is the place.
The enthusiasm of this group is actually amazing. And in many ways, this society is, and always has been, well ahead of its time. I mean, if you figure right now, in the last 10 years or so, there's been a great push toward translational medicine. This society has been doing that sort of thing since its beginnings.
So this is a natural home for me. So I have brought my fellows to this meeting over the years, and I've seen my friends at this meeting over the years. I've developed many close friends in this society, and it's always a wonderful opportunity to see those friends and interact with them and get inspired for the next year in terms of what I'm working on.
I care about children and babies. I mean, it's as simple as that.